भज भज भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वास करी
भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वास करी
विषय छाड़िया से रस मजिया मुखे बोल हरि हरि देख रे भाई त्रिभुवन नाई ए मन दयाल दाता पशु पक्षी झुरे पाषाण विदरे सुनी जरा गुण गाथा संसारे मजिया रोहिली परिया से पदे नहिला आशा अपन कर्म मुंजाए समन कहे लोचन दासा परम करुणा पहुँ दुई जन निताई गौरचंद्रा सबावतार सारा शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कांदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्रीला गिरिराज कृष्ण की, श्री श्री राधा रमन जी की, गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय जय जगत मंगल गौर चंद्र, दान देह हृदय तुम्हार पद द्वंद्व, भक्त गोष्ठी सहित गौरांग जय जय, सुनीले चैतन्य कथा भक्ति लभ्य है। All glories to Gaurachandra, who is the benefactor of the entire world. Please give your lotus feet in charity to my heart. All glories to Sri Gauranga along with his devotees. By hearing the topics of Lord Chaitanya, one attains the devotional service of the Lord. Thakurera prema dekhi sarva bhakta gana, parama vismita hoilo sabakara mana. When all the devotees observed the Lord's love, they were all struck with wonder. As promised yesterday, dear devotees, we are reading from Chaitanya Bhagavatam Madhya Khanda, chapter 2, and the title is Lord manifests himself in Srivasa Angan and inaugurates Sankirtan. And I thought this is a fitting tribute to our celebration of Radhastami. Radhastami is going to take place day after tomorrow. Very auspicious day. Today is 24th, 26th is Radhastami, 26th August. And Radharani stands for everything about devotion to Krishna. And let us relish this chapter. I selected this chapter because I thought that today and tomorrow we can cover. This is total 100 pages. So I will be little fast in this 100 pages. So to cover 50 pages on a day is not easy, but we will try our best. So I hope you are all ready with patience. In great satisfaction, they went to Advaita and informed him of what they had seen. Who? The devotees. Devotees have seen the wonderful ecstasy in Mahaprabhu. The most powerful Advaita immediately understood through the influence of his devotional service, the Lord has incarnated. The Lord has incarnated. The Lord has incarnated. Yet the truth of Advaita Acharya is difficult to understand because he sometimes reveals himself and sometimes he conceals himself. Sri Advaita, who is a reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Mahavishnu. His full name is Advaita, for he is identical in all respect with that Lord. As he had formerly created all the universes, now he descended to introduce the path of bhakti. He delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna Bhakti. He is one of the principal branches of Sri Chaitanya tree. He explained the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. Since he has no other occupation than to teach devotional service, his name is Advaita Acharya. He is the spiritual master of all devotees and the most revered personality in the world. By a combination of these two names, His name is Advaita Acharya. Sri Advaita Acharya is the principal limb of Supreme Lord. Since he has no other occupation than to teach devotional service, his name is Advaita Acharya. He is the spiritual master of all devotees, is the most revered personality in the world. Yesterday we had Sita Thakurani, yesterday or day before yesterday? Yesterday? So, yeah, 23rd was a Sita Thakurani appearance day, the concert of Advaita Acharya. He worshipped Krishna with tulsi leaves and water of Ganges and called for him in a loud voice. Thus, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared on earth, accompanied by his personal associates. It is through him that Lord Chaitanya spread the Sankirtan movement, and through him that he delivered the world. The glory and attributes of Advaita Acharya are unlimited. How can the insignificant living entities fathom them? Sri Advaita Acharya is a principal limb of Lord Chaitanya. Another limb of Lord is Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Advaita Acharya considers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his master, and he thinks of himself as a servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this should, some of you ask that how can I kill my false ego? You see, Lord Nityananda is the Mula Sankarsana, Mahavishnu, who manifests trillions of universes just like that. They all remain subservient to Krishna. Advaita Acharya could have preached Krishna consciousness, but he didn't. He waited until Lord Chaitanya would manifest, and he waited until his master would order him, then only he would preach. My dear friend, if hearing this, your false ego doesn't collapse, when would it collapse then? I am speechless. He forgets himself in the joy of that conception and teaches all living entities. You are servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The glories of Sri Advaita Acharya are boundless, for his sincere very vibrations brought about Lord Chaitanya's descent upon this earth. He liberated the universe by preaching Sankirtan. The people of the world received the treasure of love of Godhead through the mercy of Sri Advaita. Who can describe the unlimited glories of Advaita Acharya? I write here as much as I have known from great authorities. The truth and characteristics of Sri Advaita Prabhu are incomprehensible to ordinary mundane living entities. Although by his own sweet will, he sometimes reveals his own transcendental glories, he sometimes conceals his transcendental glories. Alvandaru Amunacharya has written in his Tutra Ratna as follows: O my Lord, everything within this material nature is limited by time and space and thought. Your characteristics, however, being unequaled and unsurpassed, are always transcendental to such limitations. You sometimes cover such characteristics by your own energy, but nevertheless, your unallied devotees are always able to see you under all circumstances. So, dear devotees, Advaita Acharya is Acharya. Advaita, why he is Advaita? Because he is non-different from Krishna. And Acharya, he considers himself servant of Krishna and teaches devotional service. So, although he is Krishna, non-different from Krishna, he accepts the position of servant to Krishna and teaches us the devotional service. That is why he is Acharya. and hence his name is Advaita Acharya. When Advaita Acharya heard this news, he became fully absorbed and began to speak as follows. Oh brothers, please hear me. Last night I saw something in a dream. When I was unable to understand something that I had read in Bhagavad Gita, I was unhappy and took rest without eating. ऐसा होता क्या किसी का? मेरा तो अभी तक नहीं हुआ है. Yes, I have spent some nights with candlelight understanding certain concept, but I don't think that I have stopped eating. So, Advaita Acharya didn't eat because he didn't understand. Is it possible Advaita Acharya not to understand Bhagavad Gita? If Advaita Acharya says he cannot understand Bhagavad Gita, and Ravi Nitai Chand says, I have mastered Bhagavad Gita, there is nothing new for me in Bhagavad Gita. So you know who is Ravi Nitai Chand and who is Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is Kanistha, Ravi Nitai Chand is Uttama. In the dead of night, someone came to me in a dream and said, Rise, Acharya, go and take your meal. I am explaining the meaning of the text you read. Get up, eat, and worship me. Why are you feeling sad? You have obtained everything. Your resolution has been fulfilled. Your fasting, your worship, your tears while crying out the name of Krishna, your vow with raised arms, all to induce Lord's advent, have now become successful. It looks like, probably, I don't know, the verse, what is that verse? Yogakshama Bahamyaham. What is the verse? Yogakshama Bahamyaham. तेसाम नित्याभियुक्तानाम योगक्षेम बहाम्यहम. उसका ऊपर क्या है? अनन्यश्चित्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते. अनन्यश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेसाम नित्याभियुक्तानाम योगक्षेम बहाम्यहम. Baby, this is what, because Advaita Acharya has prayed to Lord so much and he didn't reveal himself. He didn't incarnate. He was thinking probably I made some mistake. I don't know which verse it is in Bhagavad Gita, but we will see that later. Advaita Acharya Goswami is an incarnation of Lord as a devotee. His loud calling was the cause for Krishna's incarnation. Advaita Acharya having appeared, he found the world devoid of devotional service to Krishna because people were engrossed in material affairs. Everyone was engaged in material enjoyment, whether sinfully or virtuously. No one was interested in the transcendental service of the Lord, which can give total relief from the repetition of birth and death. Seeing the activities of the world, the Acharya felt compassion and began to ponder how he could act for the people's benefit. If Sri Krishna were to appear as an incarnation, he himself could preach devotion by his personal example. In this age of Kali, there is no religion other than the chanting of Krishna's name. But how in this age will the Lord appear as an incarnation? I shall worship Krishna in a purified state of mind. I shall constantly petition him in humbleness. My name, Advaita, will be fitting if I am able to induce Krishna to inaugurate the movement of chanting of the holy name. While he was thinking about how to propitiate Krishna by worship, the following verse came to his mind. Tulasi dalamatrena jalasya chalukena va Vikrinite swamatmanam bhaktevyo bhaktavatsalaha. Sri Krishna, who is very affectionate toward his devotee, sells himself to a devotee who offers him merely a tulasi leaf and a palmful of water. Advaita Acharya considered the meaning of the verse in this way. Not finding any way to repay the debt he owes to the one who offers him tulsi leaf and water, Lord Krishna thinks, there is no wealth in my possession that is equal to a tulsi leaf and water. Thus the Lord liquidates the debt by offering himself to the devotee. Considering this, the Acharya began worshipping the Lord. Thinking of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, he constantly offered tulsi buds in water from the Ganges. Dear devotees, there are many of you who do not offer anything to Krishna. Okay? I think that is not good. Offering to Krishna is a very, very important aspect of our daily service. I have seen every day Rasaraj Prabhu, wherever he would go, he will have his altar and will place a glass of water with tulsi leaf in it. Okay? And he will change that water 3 times a day. One Sandhya early morning, another Sandhya noon time, and third Sandhya evening. So he does this three times every day without fail. And I have seen people, today I was talking to some of the devotees, they don't do any of this service. How can you live like a devotee? When every day morning after Abhishekam, if I don't make an offering, I feel very dejected. But here are people, they cook but they don't offer. I don't know how. Without offering, once you cook, you must go and offer. With a proper consciousness you cook and then you must go and offer. Okay? Lord accepts even a glass of water with tulsi leaf. And Krishna is saying, anybody who is doing that, Krishna will never, when he feels that he is so indebted to such a devotee, because tulsi and water, Ganga Jal, is so dear to him. Somebody offers to him that much Ganga Jal and tulsi. Krishna says he cannot repay his debt to such a devotee. At least this should inspire each one of you. Thus the Lord liquidates the debt by offering himself to the devotee. So Krishna says, I cannot repay the debt. The best is that I go and reside in their heart. Let the devotee luck me. Luck me. Once Radharaman Maharaj was giving a class in Vrindavan temple, and he was telling about Bilomangala Thakur. Bilomangala Thakur, he quoted a verse and said, Bilomangala Thakur is saying, Krishna is fine, you are a devotee, whatever you are, I don't care. Why? Because I have locked you in my heart. I am not going to allow you to go away from my heart. I have locked you. What a strength. What a confidence for a devotee to be able to say that I have locked you in heart, in my heart. Dear devotees, just meditate. I am telling you, our ability to meditate is not there. Every day we should meditate on Krishna's teaching. Considering this, the Acharya began worshipping the Lord. Thinking of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, he constantly offered tulasi, birds and the water from Ganges. He appealed to Sri Krishna with loud calls and thus made it possible for Krishna to appear. You see, tulasi buds. Today our great, where is that fellow? Gupta. They bring big tulsi leaves. No, tulsi bud. Tender leaves of tulsi. And tender tulsi manjari. Tender. Because Krishna is very soft. Everything soft must be provided to Krishna. Therefore, the principal reason for Sri Chaitanya's descent is this appeal by Advaita Acharya. The Lord, the protector of religion, appears by the desire of his devotee. But I didn't understand there is no explanation why, what is that Advaita Acharya didn't understand in Bhagavad Gita. If anybody knows this secret, please reveal, and whoever would reveal this secret, he will get special prize from me.
सर ऐसा हो सकता है कि वो उन्होंने बोला पत्रम पुष्पम
हैं? Hey, he is not listening or what? Should I make you 20 times utak baitak? I said he didn't understand that a verse from Bhagavad Gita, and he fasted and he slept, and that's why Advaita Acharya told his devotees that I saw a dream where someone came and woke me up and said, please wake up, I have appeared. I have appeared. Eat. So this is what Radhakant Das is saying. Advaita Acharya didn't understand Sarvato Pani Padam Tat. Later Mahaprabhu revealed during Mahaprakasa Lila. So Radhakant is actually an authority, so I have to accept him. So Sarvato Pani Padam Tat Sarvato Kshi Shiro Mukha Sarvato Srutimal Loke Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. This particular verse, the chanting of Krishna's name will be spread to all countries, all towns and all houses. Sarva dese hoi beka Krishnera kirtana Gare gare nagare na Gare anuchana Brahmara durlava bhakti Achaye jatake Tomaro prasadeve Sabe dekhibe ka. Devotional service that is rare for even Lord Brahma will now be available to everyone by your mercy. Ei Srivasera ghare jate ka Vaishnava Brahmadira durlava dekhibe anubhava. All the Vaishnavas will experience realization at the house of Srivasa Pandita that are rare for even Lord Brahma. Therefore, eat your meal, Advaita. I am departing now, but I will come again while you are eating. When I opened my eyes, I saw this Vishwambara, but he soon disappeared from my sight. I cannot understand Krishna's mysteries, such as which form he manifests or in which he manifests. His elder brother Vishwarupa used to come and study Bhagavad Gita with me. This child Vishwambara was most enchantingly attractive. He used to come to my house to call his brother. On seeing the beauty of this child, my heart was captivated. I blessed him with words May you attain devotional service to the Lord. He is from an aristocratic family, for he is the son of Nilambara Chakravarti's daughter. He is also most erudite, possesses all good qualities, so it is befitting that he has devotion to Krishna. I have become very pleased on hearing this news. All of you kindly bless him, saying, may it be so. May the mercy of Krishna be manifest to all. May the entire world become intoxicated by the name of Krishna. If all this is true, then everyone will come to the house of this Brahmana. Advaita Acharya roared loudly in ecstasy, and all the Vaishnavas chanted in jubilation. As they all chanted the name of Hari, Lord Krishna manifested there in the form of Kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Someone said, when Nimai Pandit becomes a devotee, then we will have tumultuous kirtan. All the devotees then offered their obeisances to Advaita Acharya and left, chanting the names of Hari. The Lord spoke with great respect to everyone he met. When the Lord went in the morning to take bath in the Ganges, he met many Vaishnavas on the way. As soon as the Lord saw Srivasa Pandita and the other devotees, he offered them obeisances, and the devotees blessed the Lord out of love. Can you imagine? Nimai is offering obeisances. The master of all the universe, the summum bonum of everything that is existing, is offering obeisances, dear devotees. Please, if these things, if Advaita Acharya wanting to always follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't melt your stone-like heart, then at least this one should melt. Vishwambhara offering obeisances to everyone. May you obtain devotion to the feet of Krishna. Chant and hear the names of Krishna. My dear, if you worship Krishna, everything will be successful. If you do not worship Krishna, then your beauty and education are useless. Can you imagine how devotees are telling Nimai Pandit? Krishna is the father of the universe. Krishna is the life and soul of everyone. Therefore, my dear, worship the lotus feet of Krishna with determination. They are telling Krishna about Krishna. The Lord was greatly pleased with their blessings, so he cast his merciful glance on them. All your blessings are certainly fruitful. Why would you give any other lesser benedictions? Tomar se paro Krishna bhajana divare dasere se vile Krishna anugraha kare. You alone are capable of awarding devotional service to Krishna. For by serving his servants, Krishna bestows his mercy. So, the second half of the verse 41 and the first half verse 43 are explained following as follows in the Itihasa Samuchaya. Lomosa Muni states, you know that Lomosa Muni, with every Dibya Kalpa, one hair would fall. After every Dibya Kalpa. So a day of Brahma is 1000 Dibya Kalpa, and 1000 Dibya Kalpa a day, 365 means 36 lakh Dibya Kalpas, correct? No, 365,000. So 3.65 lakh Dibya Kalpa per year, and 100 is 365 lakh. So that is 3.65 crore. That means Lomosa Muni has 3.65 crore hairs in his body. So Lomosa Muni says, Tasmad Vishnu Prasadaya Vaishnavan Paritosayet Prasado Samukho Vishnus Tenaiva Syanna Samsayaha. In order to attain the mercy of Lord Vishnu, one should satisfy the Vaishnavas. There is no doubt that by their mercy Vishnu will be pleased. Also in the Itihasa Samuchaya, the Supreme Lord says, Name Bhakta Chaturvedi Madhvakta Sopacha Priyaha Tasmai Deyam Tato Graham Sacha Pujya Yathahi Aham. Wow, so powerful, Baba. Even though a person is very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literature, he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is pure in devotional service. Even though a person is born in the family of dog eaters, he is very dear to me if he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activities or mental speculation. Indeed, all respect should be given to him. Whatever he offers should be accepted. Such devotees are as worshipable as I am. Wow, what a powerful statement. It says somebody is Chaturvedi, born in Chaturvedi family, but he has no devotion to Krishna. Krishna doesn't look at him. Whereas somebody is born in dog eaters family, but he chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So then you can imagine that that person is not only very dear to Krishna, he is saying such devotees are as worshipable as Krishna himself. In Adi Purana it is stated, Yame Bhakta Jana Partha, Name Bhaktas Chate Janaha, Mad Bhaktanam Chaye Bhaktas, Teme Bhakta Tamamata. I had asked this question in the quiz, right? So this is there in the beginning, Adi Khanda, first volume, and I think first or second chapter itself. Lord Krishna told Arjuna, those who are my direct devotees are actually not my devotees, but those who are devotees of my servant are factually my devotees. Please understand this point. At the end of narration on Yajñamala in Brihad Naradiya Purana it is stated, Hari Bhakti Ratan Yastu हरि बुद्ध्या प्रपूजयेत् तस्य तुष्यन्ति विप्रेन्द्रा ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिवादयः. O best of the Brahmanas, if one worships the Vaishnavas who are fixed in devotional service to Vishnu by considering them non-different bodily limbs of Sri Hari, then everyone including Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are pleased. In the Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda, Shiva speaks to Uma as follows. Archayitva tu govindam tadiyannarchayettu yah nacha bhagavato jnaya kevalam dambhika smrita tasmat sarva paryetnena Vaishnavan pujaye sada. One who worships the Lord Govinda but fails to worship his devotees should be understood to be not a devotee of the Lord but simply a victim of false pride. Therefore, one should always worship Vaishnavas by all means. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.26.34, Lord Krishna speaks to Uddhava as follows. Santa disanti chakhyamsi bahirarka samuthita devata bandhava santaha santa atmaham evacha. My devotees bestow divine eyes, whereas the sun allows only external sight, that only when it is risen in the sky. My devotees are once real worshipable deities and real family. They are once oneself and ultimately they are non-different from me. So this is so profound, isn't it? So profound. He says, my devotee, they awaken your internal eye, where sun awakens your external eye, and that too when it rises in the eastern horizon. But the devotees of Krishna can awake your spiritual eye anytime. In Srimad Bhagavatam 5.7.5.32, Prahlad Maharaj speaks to Hiranyakashipu as follows. Naisam matistavad urukramangrim sprusati anartha pagamo yadartha mahiyasam pado rajabhisekam niskinchananam navrunita yavat. Unless the smear, it's a huge purport, Baba. Wow, big purport. I don't think that we can cover this, but anyway. So, 21:18, let us finish first this purport. This is a huge purport. Unless the smear upon their bodies the dust of lotus feet of a Vaishnava completely towards materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of Lord, who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of Lord, in this way can one be freed from material contamination. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Supreme Lord speaks to Durvasa the following words. Aham bhakta paradhino iyasvatantra iva dija sadhu hir grasta hrudayo bhaktair bhakta jana priyaha. I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent. Because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires, I sit only within the course of their hearts. What to speak of my devotee, even those who are devotees of my devotees are very dear to me. Mai nirvadha hrudaya sadhava samadarsana vase kurvanti mam bhaktya satstriya satpatim yatha. You see, if you read these purports of Bhaktivedanta purport and Bhakti Siddhanta purport, I don't know why devotees go and read something else. Everything is there in this purport. And it is better to read this purport because these Acharya, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada, they've given these, they are quoting this verse in a proper context. A chaste women bring their gentle husbands under control by service. The pure devotees who are equal to everyone and completely attached to me in the core of heart bring me under their full control. By serving their husbands, the wives can bring their husbands under their control. Similarly, devotees by serving Krishna bring Krishna under their control. Sadhavo hrudayam mahyam sadhunam hrudayam tuaham madanyatena jananti naham tebhya managavi. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart. I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And here is the verse, my favorite chapter, 10th canto, 51st chapter, that is Krishna slays Kalayavana. 53rd verse. Muchukunda speaks to Krishna as follows. Pavargo brahmato yada bhaves janmasya tari achyuta satsamagamaha satsangamo yari tadaiva sadgatau paravarese tvai jayate matehi. When the material life of a wandering soul has ceased, O Achyuta, he may attain the association of your devotees, and when he associates with them, there awakens in him devotion unto you, who are the goal of the devotees, the Lord of all causes and their effects. So Muchukunda is giving emphasis in the association of devotees. Is it not we all became devotee by association of devotees? Although I was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but I didn't know ABC of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Neither I knew Krishna. By associating with Krishna Sir, I became a devotee. There is no doubt about it. Similarly, associating with the devotees. My first Das Puja offering was to Rompad Maharaj was that the day I met Krishnan Sir, he made me to get attracted to Krishna. Something like that. That is the first sentence. That was my first sentence. That means by associating with the devotee, I got naturally attracted to Krishna. That is exactly my first sentence of my first Das Puja offering. We get attracted to Krishna by association of devotees. There is no other way. And this ordinary, he is not an ordinary, Muchukunda is not an ordinary person who has fought for demigods for years and years and years. So, should we continue now? No, I think this is a bigger purport. If I continue this purport, then our, what is his name? Mayank Madhusudan Mukund, Triple M will curse me. So, I better fear him and stop the discussion. But I can read the translation. You always teach me my duties to Lord Vishnu. This proves that I must have previously performed pious activities. Okay. So, this is how Nimai is reciprocating. Srivasa and his friends, when they met Nimai Pandit now, Nimai Pandit, instead of showing his arrogance, Nimai Pandit offered obeisances, and they all blessed him, and they said that you attain devotion to Krishna. And then Nimai Pandit's answer was, because you are pure devotee of Krishna, you value pure devotion to Krishna. So you never think anything else could become a better benediction. Like when somebody does something, what I pray? I pray, may Lord bestow His pure devotion upon you, because that is the best benediction. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Nimai said that, and what he is saying? You always teach me my duties to Lord Vishnu. This proves that I must have previously performed pious activities. So when I say something to anyone, people say, "Arey, har samay danta rehta hai." But here he is saying that when a devotee teaches you, corrects you, you should feel indebted to Krishna, that Krishna is correcting you through a devotee. So this is actually direct correction by Krishna. This proves that I must have previously performed pious activities. That is why sometimes I get chastisement, sometimes I get corrected, and so forth. So dear devotees, on the occasion of Radhastami, we are hearing the glories of devotional service. In particular, the purport that we just covered, the essence of devotional service, to recognize a pure devotee and serve him with heart and soul. And this is the essence of Vaishnavism. Essence of Vaishnavism is we learn Krishna consciousness from a devotee. Hare Krishna. If you have any question, you can ask. So today, to summarize, we saw how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have not read the previous chapter, so it looks a little odd, but devotees now have seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibiting, devotional ecstasy and devotion to Krishna. So devotees became very happy, and so when devotees, they become very happy, where they should go? They should go to their teacher. I don't see that here. When devotees are happy, they must go to their teacher. And so their teacher is Advaita Acharya. And all of them, they went to their teacher, Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya was very happy. Internally he said that it looks like my Lord has incarnated. And still he didn't want to reveal. So that's why he said Advaita Acharya sometimes reveals himself, sometimes hides himself. And we also learned that why Advaita Acharya is Advaita Acharya. He is non-different from Krishna, but he teaches us service to Krishna. That's why he is Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya, hearing devotees, he told, I saw a dream, and it was actually a dream. That what dream he saw? And he narrated his story. Story is that he was reading Bhagavad Gita, and according to our authority Radhakant Das, Radhakant Das, that he was not able to understand Sarvato Pani Padam, Sarvato Kshi Shiromukha, Sarvato Sritimal Loke, Sarvam Avrita Tishtati. And it seems that this verse would be explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Mahaprakash Leela. But the point here is that because he could not understand, he didn't eat and he was taking rest, and Mahaprabhu came in his dream and told, wake up Advaita, I have come. I'll explain to you your doubt, but first take prasadam. And as soon as he got up and he saw for a fraction of a moment Vishwambara or Nimai Pandit, and then Nimai Pandit vanished. So anyway, so there was a conversation between Advaita Acharya and devotees were very happy. They took permission from Advaita Acharya and left for their home. And then Vishwambara was walking on the street, going to Ganga Ghat. On the way, Srivas Pandit and his associates met Vishwambara. Vishwambara, instead of showing his arrogance, he offered obeisances. So I had told you, two things if you meditate, your false ego will completely vanquish. One is Advaita Acharya, although he is creating trillions of universes, he is serving Krishna. And we may make a little bit of a Gurukul campus or something little bit, or Dehradun preaching center, and then we start thinking, oh, I'm so great, because of me things are happening. Yes, I am great Radhakant Das, because of me only Gurukul campus happened. Yes. But here Advaita Acharya is saying, Advaita Acharya, instead of preaching Krishna consciousness, which he could do, he is waiting for the advent of Lord Chaitanya such that he can follow the instructions of Lord Chaitanya. This is the beauty. This is one way we can always conquer our false ego. The other one is Nimai, who is the summum bonum of absolute truth, is offering obeisances to the devotees and taking their blessings, and is saying, you are reminding me about Krishna, you are reminding me my duty to Krishna. That means I must have done some punya, sukruti. So, and the very fascinating aspect of the purport today is that how association of devotees, worshipping devotees, serving the devotees are the essence of devotional service. Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanis Gupta, Dandavat Pranam. How do we know what Krishna wants from us? As of now, you just consult your teacher. Okay? And the teacher will tell you what Krishna wants from you. And because you are 11th grader, now I think you have gone to 12th grade, what Krishna wants from you is that you must score 95% minimum in 12th grade. That is what Krishna wants from you. And while you score that much, you remember always Krishna. The best verse that is appropriate for you, Tasmat sarvesu kalesu ma manusmara yudhyascha. You should constantly remember Krishna and prepare for the exam. And after you score 95, then you come to me. I'll tell you what Krishna wants from you. Okay? Any other question? Radhakant Das is quoting the Bilomangala Thakur, the verse that Radharaman Maharaj was telling. Hastam utkiptam yatosi balad Krishna kim adbhutam hridayad yadi niryasi paurusam ganayami te. Can you write down the meaning of that verse? Hastam utkiptam yatosi balad Krishnam kim adbhutam hridayam yadi niryasi. Hridayad yadi niryasi. If you can come out of my heart, paurusam ganayami te. I don't know exact meaning. Hastam. Jai Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki, Srila Giriraj Krishna ki, Sri Sri Radha Raman Ji ki.
In translation, Lila Govind.
Lila Govind. Oh Krishna, tip of my everything, the noose of my devotion remaining forever tight, will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of ions. Okay. Any other question? Tarun Reddy, can we also offer our daily learning to Krishna? Yes. Whatever you are learning, you can offer. Rajat Prabhu, a first year student at IIT Kanpur, is asking. Yes. Daily learning means what is that? Your class book studies. Yes. Suppose today you studied 10 hours and then you offer that to Krishna. Oh Krishna, I am a student and I have studied 5 hours today, 10 hours today. So you can offer that.
Sir, yes, and the translation.
Okay. So yes, Tarun, you can tell Rajat that if he is studying his textbook, certainly he can offer to Krishna. Same thing. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mam manusmara yudhyasya. Remember Krishna and perform your action. And your action is, as long as you are remembering Krishna, your action can be offered to Krishna. No doubt about it. So, what you are saying? Shall we also offer something daily to Krishna in our room? Yeah, in your room you can. That is what I am saying. That's all you offer. Offer a glass of water with tulsi leaf. This much you do. Everybody must do this. Everybody must offer a glass of water with tulsi leaf. Okay? Yeah. Abhishek Panchal. A feeling of attachment comes from the fear of losing. It is interesting to know how and why we are attached to everything we possess, even to the most insignificant thing like our clothes or coffee mug. An introspection wonders why one is attached to things one possesses. A feeling of attachment comes from the fear of losing. If we know that our possessions are fear of, the sense of proprietorship. This sense of losing is not losing, it is actually sense of proprietorship. So here the meaning is sense of proprietorship. So you have already assumed that you are the proprietor of this, and then your false ego is hampered, right? You are proprietor of this, and when you lose it, you have established your I-ness, that I is getting annihilated. That is the meaning here. So don't just quote, I was also getting confused. So thank you for giving the entire perspective. Even I don't know that I have written all these wonderful things. You see, I don't write, I can now see. So many things is there in this. Many people they don't read this lesson plan, right? They don't read. They don't read. If they read these lessons, like, Radhakant, he never read the lesson plan. I can give 100% guaranteed. Radhakant has not written, has not read. So, okay. Radhakant?
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna.
Did you read the lesson plan? All 10 lesson plan?
Well, most of it.
No. You are still lying. And even if you have read it, you have read superficially. This month is fasting from yogurt. Can we cook items with yogurt? This is yogurt? Start हो गया? अच्छा, ये चल रहा है, खत्म होने वाला है. हाँ. It is better not to, some little yogurt, just like, there is madhupark you make using yogurt. That is all right. You make charanamrita yogurt. That is all right. But specific yogurt, you should not take, like Leela Govind. Without yogurt, he would not enjoy, he would not feel that his lunch is complete without yogurt. So that kind of thing. Or curry, yogurt and curry. These two things you should not take. Small little yogurt is added in some recipe, that is all right. Okay, thank you so much everyone. Hare Krishna. We are going to continue tomorrow. We are reading very wonderful purports of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The chapter is wonderful, and please don't miss. Don't miss. Just wait like Chataka or Chakoro bird for this hearing. Hare Krishna.